From the issues shaping our nation to the headlines impacting your home, this is American Interests, the podcast where real conversations meet real consequences. Hosted by Rojas, this is your front row seat to the political stories, policy debates, and breaking events that matter most to everyday Americans. No spin, no nonsense, just honest talk about today's events, what they mean for your future, and where our country goes from here. This is American Interests. And it starts now.
So let's go back 10 years, 2016. Prior to that, I didn't care about politics. Democrat, Republican, it didn't matter to me. My mind was in another place and I didn't care. I just didn't care. Now, I didn't admire Donald Trump in my younger years. The success and, the money and, you just, everything a young man wants to become, he was somebody to look up to. Well, but I didn't know how he would do as a president. He didn't have any political experience. So I just figured, I was like, well, I didn't realize the correlation between business and politics. So, I just said, I don't know how he's going to do. So, I know we tend to, we tend to gravitate towards our environments. And, I had a lot of influences on both sides of the aisle. My biggest influence was my father. He was from Chicago and he had a lot of influence that gravitated towards the left side of the aisle. And that's because he had the mentality, the old school John F. Kennedy, mentality where he didn't understand, as I didn't either, but he didn't understand that the Democrats of today are nothing like the Democrats of that era. And so he just followed what the people that seemed to be more educated about it, the people that were more into it than he was, he just followed their word and what they thought. And he trusted them like, other relatives that they're educated, but they just have different values. And so he followed what they said. And so I asked him, I said, who are you going to vote for, And he goes, I don't know, probably Hillary, he says. And I said, oh yeah. I said, okay. I said, what do you think about Benghazi? What they're saying about Benghazi? And he said, what's that? And I told him, oh man, we got a lot to talk about. And so, he said that, I told him about Hillary's involvement and the deleted emails and the whole nine. And after that conversation, he agreed that she was rotten and evil and that she didn't need to be president. And then, I asked him, I said, so what do you think about Trump? And he said, nah, he's racist, he says. I said, really? I said, well, what did he say? What did he do? What happened, And he said, it was one of his first campaign rallies. And he said that he said that Mexicans were rapists and murderers. And I said, man, that sucks. I said, I didn't, that's not what we need as president, someone that says something like that. So, but I said, but you know what? That doesn't sound right to me. I said, you think about it. If you're successful in business and money is your power, you are going to transfer that mentality over to the presidency and you're going to say, okay, what is my power? It's my votes. So in order to get the votes, you need to appeal to people. Why would he just waste and that's just automatic common sense. Why would he waste so many votes? Even if he was racist, why would he waste those votes? And just because it's going to cause a whole demographic, a whole percentage of people to not vote for him. Why would he do that? So it didn't make sense to me that he would say that. But I said, if he said it, he said it, So next thing you know, I go to YouTube and I type in keywords, something along the lines of Trump, racist comments, Mexicans are rapists and murderers, something along them lines. And sure enough, the first thing that popped up was CNN. And it was about a 20 or 30 second clip, something like that, 20-second clip. And it was him on stage and he said something about the Mexicans. And then there was a glitch in the screen. Like he went from, his face was turning this way and then instantly it was a glitch, and his head was turning this way, and he said, "They're rapists or murderers." And I said, "No, no, no. I want to see what they cut out. I don't want to see. I don't want any gray area. Like if he said it, I want to be able to say without a shadow of a doubt that he said that." And so I go and search the entire speech, and I watched 30, 45-minute speech, however long it was. And sure enough, I'm watching it, and it's some no-name news company that's broadcasting it on YouTube. And he said, he was talking about the Mexicans on there. And he said that some are good, some are bad, and have we got to vet out the bad? We only want the best of every country coming in here. We don't just want a bunch of deadbeats. And then he said something about putting up a gate, that he wants a big, beautiful gate, so that way we can regulate and allow people to come in. And then towards the end of the speech, he was talking about MS-13, and he said that they're rapists and murderers. And at that moment, I just my head exploded. I couldn't believe what I had seen. I just witnessed that CNN was misleading the people. And you got to understand, they're fake news now, but back then they weren't fake news. They were just news. So for me to trust news was automatic for most people. And for me to realize that, it just changed everything. It changed the course of everything. And I just realized that the news on purpose will lie to you. They were just misleading their people and all their viewers. And it's just, and then when you get to realize why they were doing it, it starts awakening you to all the other things and all the malicious things that have taken place. So I really grew an appreciation for that newfound knowledge that I have. And I had at that time. So from that moment forward, I had to investigate what was right, what was wrong, so that way I could tell people whenever they had passionate opinions about things that they were misinformed. I wanted to be able to tell them. And so I've had countless debates ever since. I really rooted for Trump all through the 2016 election. The midterms, I pushed conservative values. I pushed for Trump at the next election, and so forth. I was a part of all the Trump trains. I was a part of, we were deep in it, and we loved every bit of it because we met so many people that shared the same values as me and the same understanding. Now, when, so I was I would debate people, and a lot of times online, Facebook, my friends on Facebook, they have opposing views, and they would tell me something, and I realized I'm not Trump's attorney. I'm not here to defend Trump on every single thing that happens, everything that he says. But if I'm going to speak about him, I better know what I'm talking about. So that inspired me to really delve deep into pretty much all the current events, everything that's happening. Because when you get into a debate about something, you're opposing, the person debating you. They're going to throw some curveball at you and start bringing up something you completely know nothing about. And so I had to get a well-rounded knowledge of all the things that Trump was involved in, all the things that he was doing, all the policies, all this and that. Basically, I had to learn everything I could about this guy, so that way I could, place my words carefully. If he wasn't worthy of my defense, then I'm not going to defend him. But he has proven himself countless times how great of a person he was, and how great of a president he is. And so with that being said, I should have done this a long time ago, and this is my first podcast, and it's 2026. I'm 10 years late on this podcast, but I needed to develop the knowledge and the research and all the legwork and all my research. I had to develop what it took for me to become what I started now. So for me to start this podcast now, that's this is who I needed to be first. So I'm definitely coming out of my comfort zone, and I expect for my content to get a lot better. I set up a little studio in this mobile trailer I got here, and so I plan to have more better equipment, better content to come. I have interviews scheduled. I have events that I want to come and go and partake in and get some footage of, and I want to share with you more of an insight on the things that are going on in the Republican Party, because I feel like there's a lot of people that just don't know and don't understand, and that's probably why they don't have the appreciation for what's going on. It's a big battle out here fighting for what's right. I have a moral value that I need to uphold, and if I don't fight for it, then I'm complacent, and I'm basically it's my fault that it happens. So I don't want to be. I don't want to regret my inaction. So here I am. I'm stepping up. I'm and I'm fighting the good fight. So just look to see some new content coming out. I plan on having something soon. I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but maybe I'm going to try every week, maybe twice a week, and we'll see where we go from there. But I hope to bring you some content soon. So like and subscribe, and keep me in your eyes, and we'll have some pretty good content that we'll enjoy together. I appreciate it. Have a good one.